Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. In today's video, we are gonna be doing my easy, breezy, clean, spring-inspired makeup tutorial. I'm so excited that today's video is a sponsorship with CoverGirl. They have some really great products and we're gonna use some of them today to create a fresh spring look. Before we do our makeup, of course, skin prep is the most important thing. You need to have a good base going so that your makeup looks amazing throughout the day and so that products don't cling to dry patches or any oily spots or anything like that. So before I even came on, I used the CoverGirl Hydrating Cream Cleanser. This is so smooth. It doesn't leave your face stripped. It's for all skin types and it's made with cactus water, which I thought was a cool little element. This is part of their Clean Fresh skincare line. And I'm actually excited to talk about this because the only two skin prepping products I'm using today is the cleanser and the moisturizer. This is specifically the dry skin corrector. One thing I will say is I used to make the mistake of using so many skincare products. I mean, at one point I was using like 15 products. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Today I'm only using 2. You don't need a lot of products to have great results. So let's now apply the moisturizer, get a nice old clumpy, and just start rubbing it in. I also like to get my neck with it as well. I also just love how hydrating it makes my skin feel and definitely dry skin safe. Another thing I loved is that the tube is made of 50% recycled products. So now that our skin is prepped, let's head on into makeup. I'm gonna start first with my brows. I'm going in with the Benefit Give Me Brow in the shade number 4. And I'm just using this to fill in any sparse areas. And then I'm gonna use the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. And I am just going to keep the brow hairs kind of combed up. That's my favorite. I like the way it looks. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, so you definitely don't have to do this. So for our face, we're going to be using the CoverGirl Skin Milk. This is from the Clean Fresh line, and the shade I'm using is 550 Light Medium. I'm just going to pour some out on the back of my hand. You can see it's super liquidy, so very lightweight and a dewy finish. So I'm just going to tap it all on my face. And I'm gonna quickly blend it in. It's super hydrating and I really like that it just evens out my skin tone and gives you a very luminous look. And the coverage is definitely light. It really just does a great job at neutralizing your face. It's giving skin. It's giving dewy. I really have been loving more lighter coverage foundations in general and dewy products like this, especially for the springtime. I feel like everybody just loves a fresh looking face. For concealer, we're gonna be using the NARS Soft Matte Complete. And I'm just going to put it underneath my eyes. That's mainly where I need the extra coverage and on the sides of my nose. Right now, it is allergy season and my allergies are so crazy. So like, I definitely need help with the redness around the nose. But that's pretty much all where I'm applying concealer these days, just to give my under eyes a little bit more coverage. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this in. I usually like to let the concealer sit just a little bit because it'll offer up more coverage in those areas where I let it sit. And when I'm blending it out, it won't look like it sat there for too long. It'll look so good. Like it's one of my favorite things to do, especially when I am wearing more of a skin tint foundation. Whatever's left on the sponge, I'm just taking and applying across my entire nose, just because like I was saying, the allergies, girl, they're just not good. They're not good. Also, if you ever want to have a little bit more coverage, we can set our face with the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Powder. I feel like I personally really do like this coverage, but there's nothing wrong with, you know, adding a little bit more if you please. You can always use powder in your T-zone or wherever you might get a little bit more shiny. So I am gonna apply a little bit of the Rare Beauty Cream Bronzer and I'm gonna blend it out with their brush. Now, if I wanna get more coverage, I'll apply it on the actual brush, but since we're going for a light, fresh, clean spring look, I apply it to the face. That way I can dilute it and melt it a little bit better into the skin with our foundation, our skin milk. And I'm doing like buffing motions. I'm not swiping. When you swipe and there's cream products, liquid products that you haven't set yet, you actually run the risk of wiping off your makeup. So I really just like to tap, dab it out, buff it out, do a little bit of a sweep, you know, just a little bit, but we're not just sitting there and going like this, because that's what's gonna kind of give you a muddy contour. It could also take off a bunch of the makeup that you put on. And whatever is left on the brush, I always just kind of run across the temples. For blush, what we're gonna do is go in with Tarte Cheek Stain. This is in the shade Tipsy, and this is what it looks like. It's like a chubby little cheek guy. So for this, I am actually gonna dab on because I like a lot of blush. Blush just like, I don't know, there's something about blush that just makes me feel super cute. Another little trick, if you ever feel like you added too much blush, you can always go in with your beauty sponge that you blended out your foundation with, and there will naturally be some product left behind. You can always just dilute it with the sponge and it looks really good. It looks super natural. To set everything, I'm actually gonna go in with the CoverGirl Clean Fresh powder again, and we're gonna be using the shade Translucent. It's just this white color, and I'm just going to set my under eyes with this. So I'm just blending out any creasing that may have formed and setting the eye. And this powder combination with the skin milk is mwah. It's so good. Same thing over here. I'm just blending out any creasing, and I like to pat it into the skin. Again, I'm not swiping because that can just remove product. So we just like to tap, 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 tap. Because my skin was prepped with hydrating products, I honestly feel like I can add more powder because I'm not too worried about having any dry patches. You also can use this translucent powder to just set your face in general. If you don't want to add any extra color or extra coverage to your face, you can always just go in and set it with the powder. For my eyes, I've really been enjoying monochromatic looks, so I'm gonna be using Rare Beauty liquid eyeshadow, and the color is in Nearly Apricot. Apricot, 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 apricot. So I'm just gonna apply on my lid, and I like to take like a brush that has a little bit more density to it. That way I can buff it out and blend it better. I really push it into the socket too. That way I can blend it up and just like make it look more seamless. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing over here. And I'm gonna run just a little bit on the lower lash line and use this brush to buff it out. Mascara, we're gonna be using the CoverGirl Lash Blast Clean. And this is what the wand looks like. It's a nice thick boy, and you can get a lot of your lashes with it. I usually like to let cream blushes seep into my skin a little bit before I set them. So now I'm gonna go in with the Pat McGrath blush. This is what it looks like. And I'm just going to set our blush that we applied so that way it doesn't slide or move around at all. It kind of just makes it stay in place, gives it some extra pigment, if you will. The CoverGirl Clean Fresh Tinted Lip Balms are so good. They are like one of my holy grails. They also have hyaluronic acid in them, which is just mwah. The color that I'm using is called Made for Peach. It's super hydrating and such a pretty color. Like everything about the Clean Fresh line with the skincare, with the makeup, everything is super hydrating. It's perfect for the spring. And I also love how simple, I feel like we're going back to our roots with makeup and doing a little bit more simple makeup. It's like the same thing with skincare. You don't need a lot of products to have a really good routine. Same thing even with your face. Like you don't have to do extremely complicated looks to have a beautiful look. And that's why I really have been loving toning it down and doing some more clean, fresh, simplistic looks like this one. And this look in total was so so easy to create. You can definitely get it done in 10 to 15 minutes. It's not anything too difficult to achieve for sure. There's not even lashes in this look. That's what I love about it. I don't know, my whole style has changed. Who am I? I don't know. 2019 Nicole could never. She would never leave this house without her Lilly Miami lashes. Now, she's just leaving her house with the CoverGirl Lash Blast. But I hope you guys enjoyed this super simple look that's so easy to achieve, and definitely check out the CoverGirl Clean Fresh products. I will have them linked down below for you guys so you can check them out. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!